Hello, I am Gwen Fire, High Priestess. Last week I finished reading this wonderful book written by Elizabeth Gilbert. The book is titled Big Magic. So of course I had to read this book. It's not about magic in terms of formula like I teach on my channel, but I still think this is a great background book for magicians and other magical folk, because she is inviting the reader to approach the world magically, which is definitely one of my favorite principles. I often say magic is ordinary, but the ordinary is miraculous. I often speak of the magician as the artisan, and the subtitle of this book is Creative Living Beyond Fear. Elizabeth defines creativity as the relationship between a human being and the mysteries of inspiration. And again, this would be on-point soul work for magical folk. Now, Elizabeth Gilbert is the author of the famous book Eat, Pray, Love that came out in 2010, and that was made into a movie. Big Magic has actually been around for a decade, published in 2015, and Ms. Gilbert has written 8 other books, and then also has a cookbook, I believe I saw. Now, confession, I have never read Eat, Pray, Love, and nor have I seen the movie. I'll have to circle back around. And even though I ordered to read this, I prejudged a little bit. I thought it was going to be fluffy and emotionally flimsy. I don't know why I thought that, but I was delighted and challenged from the first chapter. And as I mentioned, the subtitle is Creative Living Beyond Fear, and the first chapter and is titled Fear. And I have lived a life of fear. That has been one of my personal challenges, and I've come a long way on my own path. But I feel like reading that chapter and the whole book was like, for me, where I'm at, it was kind of like dusting out corners of healing. That yes, I've done the main, but there were some things that kind of peeled away from me as I was reading, like, I can let go of that now, or I can choose that, or I can give myself this grace. Stuff I have learned, but it was like, reading this book and thinking about what she had to say, it was like a nice spring cleaning for my inner peace. Big Magic is 270 pages long. Not difficult reading, just a nice reading for curling up with your favorite cuppa. And speaking of which, she does spill tea, some great stories in here for illustrating her principles. And the chapters go through this beautiful progression, and you can even see the dark lines there. Those are all the chapters. And the progression is fear, which I already mentioned, enchantment, permission, persistence, trust, and finally, divinity. And this is active transformation for yourself, that you can move from fear to trust. And I'm all about trust as well, if you've listened to any other of my videos. So I appreciate finding that in other places. The last word in this book is yes. And so it's going to be fun when you get to that yes after diving into, going through everything that gets you to that yes when reading this book. Now, Ms. Gilbert uses the word amplified existence. And isn't that the call of magic for all of us? She does acknowledge that being in this earth world, and this is a quote, everything is so goddamn scary. Amen. We all know that too. But there is, again, this beautiful and grounded invitation that echoes so much of what I do say. A small excerpt from her book, the one that I just really loved, so I'm going to page 8. Do you have the courage to bring forth the treasures that are hidden within you? We are all walking repositories of buried treasure. I believe that this is one of the oldest and most generous tricks the universe plays on us as human beings. So that's an example of how she tells it. So obviously I recommend this book as part of your magical reading. And if you are so inclined to purchase the book through me, I would deeply appreciate that. The link is in the description. And check out my channel, subscribe, and tap the notification bell. Join me in another video and in community posts. Comment if you've had a chance to read this book and what you thought of it, or what you're thinking about it before you get a chance to. And yeah, you have a blessed day.